Well, hey everybody, good Thursday to you. Jayme King here, Fox 35 Storm Center, Fox 35 in Orlando, Florida. I want to update you now what's going on around the nation. We spoke last, right, with the big, huge storm, the winter storm, gulped up a lot of the nation with bone-chilling cold, sub-zero temps, wind chills, real temps, lots of snow over the northern U.S. And that cold went all the way down to Florida. Today, we're actually warmer. We're in good graces here in central Florida, looking good. But there are parts of the nation that are going to see some big weather changes. A couple areas of distinct snowfall now beginning to develop across the Intermountain West, eastern flank of the Rockies, and then we even have some stronger storms now firing up around the Gulf South. So if you've got some travel plans there, know that's that area of concern today. Is it a huge area of concern? Geographically, yes. Spatially, yes. But as far as intensity in some of these storms, we're lacking a lot of the juice to get these things really pumped up. We've displayed here some lightning for you, showing just very isolated strikes. So that leads us to the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today, which has this whole area from about Houston all the way up into the Arklatex, just shy of western Tennessee, with the potential a level 1 possible risk shaded in green here, with the potential for some damaging wind gusts, bursts of heavy cloud-to-ground lightning, and some heavy rainfall out there. Elsewhere, we've got some heavy snows now taking shape east of Denver and Colorado Springs. That's going to begin changing. A lot of this snow will have a chance to kind of build back across the spine of the Rockies. Right now, sandwiched between Denver and Omaha. Little sleety mix moving up in toward the Minnesota area. Minneapolis on guard for that. And then all the way down into western Kansas, we continue with some winter weather. Through the Intermountain West down to coastal California, big push of moisture coming in off the Pacific right now. And that trend of heavy rain and heavy mountain snows is going to exponentially increase. So if you've got plans out there for New Year's Eve, for New Year's Day, no, conditions are going downhill. But if you like to ski, it's anything but. And talk about a major economic boom for the ski resorts out along the west. Boy, they could certainly use it. We've got rain now from San Fran to Sacramento, and then you hop, skip, and jump into the higher terrain, and boom, there it is. Some pretty heavy, dense snowfall at this time. Same near Seattle. Out toward Lakewood and Longview, Portland now with some rain. Then east of that toward Yakima, Wenatchee. Looks like we've got some snowflakes flying there. So lit up with certainly some travel delays if you've got flights out that way. Much of the travel delay today has been out in that region. And we talk about road conditions. I know a lot of you prefer driving versus hopping on an aircraft. And in light of everything that's gone on with travel plans and airlines and lost luggage and everything over the holiday season, I don't blame you for hopping in the car. So be safe. We do see some rain across this area here, and then the road conditions, well, they go downhill around Denver. Some of the higher terrain and mountain passes seeing some pretty high snowpack, and then out towards San Fran, Los Angeles up to Seattle, rain along the coast. Then we jump into that mountain snow as you head steadily eastbound into the higher terrain. All right, temps across the nation now. Looks like we're 27 out of Denver. Time now, local Orlando time, 10:54. So just shy of 11 a.m. on this Thursday morning. Look at Chicago, St. Louis, Toronto, New York City. A lot of spots that were down just a few days ago are now miraculously up again as we start to see the shifting winds in advance of this approaching front. The front sits right about here. You'll notice another strong push of wind back across the Gulf of Alaska and into the Pacific North and West. That's system number 2 and the one that's really going to be dumping snow over the western states. But back to the system here, out ahead of that, we'll start to deliver a shot of southerly wind flow, and naturally we draw the winds in from the south, and that not only there but also to the eastern states. That's going to really help to warm things up. So we look at the big map now. I want to focus on the west around Denver, low pressure, the backside of that, drawing and dragging in some chillier air. So that's snow machine number 1. And back to this whole atmospheric river phenomena. It's system after system after system stacked up all the way western Gulf of Alaska, and they've got one way to go, and that is eastbound, pivoting, dropping in, digging in, if you will, across the western states, and continuing to shuffle in aboard here across the Intermountain West. Little cap of high pressure briefly fills in, but soon to be displaced by some troughing of lower pressure and big weather changes coming on in that area. So looking specifically across the eastern states and for much of the nation, generally around the Mississippi east, looks like we've got that line of showers, maybe an isolated storm slipping in here as we get you on in. This is our exclusive Fox model, by the way, and does depict the southerly airflow and a weakening front. So while we have a rain opportunity, Atlanta, the Gulf South, down into the Florida Peninsula by Saturday and Sunday for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, it doesn't look all that big and bad. Certainly any severe storms, not right now in the cards. So a lot of the energy is racing away. Look how far north that low is. We call that the parent low or main area of low pressure. The more south typically we find those, the more rugged the weather becomes with some nasty storms, but it doesn't look likely this go around with the cap of high pressure zipping in across the western panhandle by Sunday there, the Florida panhandle, by about 3 o'clock in the morning. So we'll be tracking that as it makes an approach. Now, if you like to ski, snowboard, whatever it be, and you're going out west, cha-ching, boy, it is going to be a ski fest out there. A lot of heavy snow, and these are some of the preliminary numbers coming in. This is our forecast snowfall modeling here, and does show us, and this just came in, so I want to give you the latest, does show in excess of 2 feet in some of the higher mountain passes here, all the way down in toward northern Arizona. So Phoenix bowled out literally like a big bowl. It is a big valley, and as you go north of that into northern Arizona, known as the Mogollon Rim, that's some pretty high terrain, so they're going to really squeeze out quite a bit of snow for Arizona over towards Santa Fe and Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then points north. It only continues to stack on up. So something maybe to consider if you've got some travel plans in the western states. Now, I love this, right? Not necessarily the precipitation outlook, which looks fairly low, but it looks as though we're going to be above the norm here for the precipitation potential in Atlanta, Charleston to Raleigh. Mainly rain, doesn't look like any increase in snow, and then we'll trend drier back out toward Dallas and Houston. This is for January 4th into the 8th of January. So the beginning portions of 2023, kind of a lackluster note in terms of any real big areas of rainfall. Could change like that, right? And then we talk about the temperature outlook as well, January 6th to the 12th, and look at our legend up here showing much above the average. So typically here in Florida, at least where I am here in Orlando, low mid 70s is average, okay, typical temperatures for highs, and then the low grade 50s for the overnights and the early mornings. Looks like we could exceed that both day and night as far as the temperatures are certainly concerned. Now, I want to update you, too, on what's happening now as far as the outlook for cold air in Florida. It doesn't look likely we get any intrusions of cold air over the next 7 to 10 days. In fact, the cold air is out. Mornings trend much warmer. Daily highs will be sharply rising. Rain chances are going to rise here in Central Florida for the weekend. Weak front arrives Saturday, so like a wet rag, we'll make sure that we certainly squeeze out a few raindrops, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a washout. And then New Year's weekend looks like we'll see mild temperatures in terms of precip and temps. High temps near about 80 degrees, so we're certainly going to start to warm up. The overnight temps generally in the 60s. So as we take a closer look here at our modeling, this is the EC or European forecast model, and does show some showers and isolated storms starting to rear up mainly after 12 o'clock on New Year's Eve Saturday. This is a look just before the ball drops at midnight. A couple showers around, and then boop, it's on out of here. Could be a few lingering showers around the coast. Inevitably, always, right? We see a few lingering showers along the beaches, and then the front will sweep bodily through. But this front's going to be weakening, so it looks like any rain that will be produced Sunday will be on the lighter side. Could see a little bit of that toward about 8:45 on Sunday, and everything sinking gradually down to the south. Happy New Year to you and yours. Be safe out there, please. I want to give you a look here at temperatures in Central Florida New Year's Eve. A few showers around, 69, 78 for you on New Year's Day. All righty, this 7-day forecast looking good for warm weather lovers, myself included, as we show you that rise in temps Saturday. That's that southerly wind developing, showers afternoon, and then a little bit into the evening. Peters out 20% Sunday, 78, and then up we go. Solid highs in the 80s longer term. Notice the lows down to the mid 60s, maybe upper 60s as we look longer term. That's all for now from the Fox 35 Storm Center. I certainly thank you for joining us here on the YouTube platform. It's all about weather. It's all about keeping you and your family members safe. So keep it here locked on Fox 35, and we will certainly keep you updated for the holiday time and beyond. Be well, be great, and enjoy the new year. Take care.